is when things start to get tricky. So now, let's do something that's called a collapse. Okay? A collapse is when you go from a stab to the pray position, as if you're going to go into the backspin. So you're going to go from stab position, which is, here, pray, all right? And then you usually go to your back from there. So you can actually do a backspin from your stomach going into your back. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. There's a couple variations I use for drills. Here's the first one, and this is for it's the organic approach, just trying to do it. All right, but you got to figure out what to do with your legs, and that's the hard part. The hard part is figuring out what to do with the legs, because you're here, all right. And if I was going to go into a backspin from here, okay, that's where I would be. So you're over there. Anyway, that's a stab collapse into backspin. But I'm going to actually show you how to work the collapse. It's kind of weird. So what I'm going to do is, this is a weird push-up variation I've discovered. Okay? I'm going to be in my stab right here. All right? And what I'm going to do is I have to bring my shoulder to my wrist. So I'm going to think from here to here. Here to here. Here to here. Okay? Notice my hips are twisting. My feet are twisting in order for me to be able to do this. Okay? You don't want to do that too much because it can start to stretch your elbow out after a while. Make sure you get both sides. From here to here. Okay? Here, here. Here to here. Here to here. Okay? That's a collapse. It's bringing your shoulder to your wrist. The next variation of that, all right, is to do the exact same thing but to bring one leg up. So if I'm collapsing on my left arm, I'm going to bring my right leg up to my head, bringing myself into the pray position almost. All right, so from here, I'm starting to stab. Okay, and from here, I'm going to collapse and bring my right leg up to the top. So if you want to at first, instead of having both your legs straddled, have one leg straight back and one leg out to the side. This will just make sense for now, okay? So I'm here, and then what I do from there, when I collapse, I go into my pray position on the side right there. Okay, I'll do it again. From here, leg is straight back, my other leg comes up to the front, gonna kick it up into that pray position. All right? So I'm here in that pray position. Once you start to develop that, you can do it without one foot on the ground. Right now I'm assisting myself with one foot. Okay? So that what's going to happen there is you'll go from stab to pray to your back position. And remember, when I'm on my back, my legs don't touch the ground. Pretty much throughout a whole windmill, your leg can't touch the ground. All right? So I'm going to go from a stab to a pray position to my back position. Okay? Those are three different shapes that I'm going to be in. Okay? So I'm here, starting stab. Okay, this is assistance-wise, all right? I go to pray, and then from here, I roll to my back. If you want to continue this one, you go to pray again, okay? And then from there, come back down to stab, all right? And then you repeat the process. So if I stay in the middle here, and I keep repeating that process, it gets you starting to do one shape after the other. Okay, so here I go. Starting here, stab position, okay? I go pray, I go to my back position, legs open, I go to pray, I go to stab. I go to pray, go to back position, I go to pray, I go to stab. I go to pray, go to back position, I go to pray, I go to stab. Alright? And at first it's going to feel like you're just rolling around, kind of like this weird dreidel thing. Alright? But eventually it'll develop into a seamless movement, okay, when you're trying to move around in circles. Now this is what we're going to do is the next one without assistance of the leg. Once we develop the shapes that we're getting in and know where we're going to go, we can start adding speed to it, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go from a stab position directly past the pray position into my back, onto my back, okay? And for this to happen, my legs are going to have to switch. And to see what I mean by that, think of it as if I'm going to start, if I do a stab on my left arm, okay, I'm going to kick my right leg up first. Sorry, I lied. I'm going to kick my left leg up first, and then I'm going to swing it through. So that should be simple, right? Left arm stab, left leg kicks back, and it swings around the outside. So it looks something like this. I'm not even going to go into the roll part. But from here, okay, I would start in a stab position. I'll kick my leg up, and then I swing it around. Kick it up, swing it around. So my legs switch positions. All right? Here and around. Here and around. All right? They switch positions. And when I start to do that with speed, I'm going to let my legs open up more in the straddle position. Remember, they're slightly in front of the body because that's going to give you more mobility. All right? So you're going to swing the legs through and around, and then you have to wait till the last second and allow that collapse to happen to your shoulder. It's kind of weird at first, right? But you got to keep working with it. Most people, what they'll do is they'll rush it and they'll fall flat on their back, okay? And they'll slap their feet down. If you keep your legs up towards your body, pull them up towards you, legs straddling up, tucking the hips, and going to your shoulders, that won't happen, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go straight from stab into my backspin position, okay? From here, I kick back, okay? Kick back, swing, backspin position, all right? And I go through there. Now, this one, like I said, is probably the hardest part of figuring out the windmill, okay? It's going from here to here and rolling across. A good thing to kind of figure out how to do to roll across, again, we did a collapse drill earlier. Here's another one for you. Start from here and just roll along the shoulders to the side. So you get that spinning motion down. And if you can get that spinning motion down, you add the backspin motion into it, and it makes you go into that windmill in formation. One more time. If I'm right here and I think about collapsing, all right, I can kick up and collapse to the side. Okay? That's when I can start my spin. Then I add the backspin motion to it, and I'm going to keep my leg up like I did in the shoulder stand, the prey position. Keep that leg up and swing the other leg through. So from here, swing up, okay, up, switch, swing through, and I get to my back. Okay, and it gets you to your back position for that windmill. So the next portion of this is learning how to go from your back, the back spin itself, onto the other shoulder. So if I'm stabbing with my left arm, okay, I roll to my left shoulder, now I have to go into the second half of the windmill. So I'm going to go from my back to my shoulder stand on the right, and then back to stab in the front. So I'm going back, shoulder, stab the front, okay? Now it just goes like your normal backspin. Remember, backspin is here and around, okay? And I'm on my back and I'm spinning here, okay? When you start to do windmills, you got to keep your legs straight at first. Eventually you'll be able to do all kinds of weird shapes. I've seen windmills in the lotus position. I've seen windmills where people have their legs pulled behind their backs, okay? But you got to get the windmill in motion down first. And that first is done with straight legs. So from here, when I swing my leg around, I get to my back. And from there, I'm going to roll up onto my right shoulder, kind of like a backward shoulder roll, or a roll back, which I'll explain later, all right? A backward shoulder roll, and then I'll end up in that prey position. So for example, swing my leg around, prey. Okay, so now I'm in this position again. Do it again for you. From here, swing my leg across, back spin, and I get to that prey position. All right? Now going from there, all you got to do is let the legs pass through and end back up and stab. This is another hard position because you got to control going from the back to the front. So that whole thing together would look like this: back spin, prey, back to stab. All right. This is where people sometimes mess up because they don't want to twist too soon because sometimes they roll over, okay, or they stay in one spot so they end up doing a shoulder spin. All right, and I've seen both of them happen quite often. It's that little in-between spot we got to find. So when you swing up and you're on your back, swing it across to your shoulder, all right, this is where it becomes tricky. And this is very similar to that weird push-up we did earlier, okay, but it's kind of the opposite. So what I'm going to do is I'll start in my prey position here, okay, and I have to push the ground down with my forearm, all right, and I have to bring my elbow in so I get to that stab position. Push off the ground, okay, I have my forearm down, I push it off the ground. Show you from your angle, okay, have my forearm down in prey position, bring it in, and I push off the ground, okay, I'm going to push off, like that, from here, push off the ground, and I find my spot there, okay, so that's going from back into the stab position, okay, one more time for you, a little faster, 1, prey, stab. Okay? Now we're going to put it all together. We're going to do stab to the back, to across the shoulder, to back to stab. So from here, all those together, and we kick the leg back, all right? Kick it back, swing through, shoulder, and then back to there again, all right? You got to make sure to get that spin in there, that back spin, or you're not going to be able to pull across. If your legs come together, you will fall and hit the ground. Okay, keep your legs apart. That's my main suggestion. Keep your legs apart. Going faster with it, okay? Once you start picking up a single one, try to do another one, then do another. Eventually you start getting multiples in a row. And that's kind of a basic windmill. One more thing I should mention is guiding your shoulders to the ground once you're getting faster. And you'll notice that, very similar when you're doing a stab, once you start getting better at stabs, you can actually hold freezes and stuff to the side. You can notice my head's close to the ground here, and that's going to help you transfer to your shoulder better. Okay? So when I try to do a windmill, and you're from stab, tilt the body at the axis and roll across the shoulder, and that's going to make an easier transition. You won't bump your shoulder as much, you won't hit your lower back as much. So if I'm from here, okay, and I swing my leg up and then I transfer through, my shoulder is down, and it doesn't hurt my shoulder as much when I actually go into the spin, into the windmill spin. Alright, good luck with it. I know you're all trained hard. Take some time, maybe not do it on hard surfaces at first. That's kind of where I learned it, okay? But maybe you need to train on something a little softer. Panel mats at a gym are great. Spring floor is great. Just wear a shirt. You don't want to get rug burn. And yeah, be safe with it. And I'll try to upload more things that kind of help with the windmills as we go along. Alright? Take it easy. Train hard and train smart.